This video is going to teach you guys exactly everything you need to know when it comes to learning how to do side jumps in Fortnite, and I'm going to teach you guys the best tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that help me master my side jumps. 85% of people who watch my YouTube videos are not subscribed to my channel, so if you guys can hit that like button and the sub button for the one time, as I would greatly appreciate it. I would recommend watching the whole video through because you never know, you might learn something, but just in case, the tip number is going to be right above the webcam so you guys don't get confused. This is going to be a fast build up from the basic stuff to the more advanced stuff so you guys can get a good understanding no matter what skill level you're at. These tips are going to apply for controller or keyboard, it doesn't matter, but just practice doing this right here because you need to get used to placing the cone and the stairs so you can prepare yourself for the side jump. Once you learn that, I would recommend placing a cone and then landing on a floor and then continue going like this and then just keep landing on the floor to get used to the very first step to getting better at your side jumps. Now, this is something that a lot of people can work on, and you need to focus on getting better at your movement in this game, which is highly important. I'm sure you guys know by now, but focus on landing this way and working on a momentum side jump that way. Instead of doing it like this, focus on doing it like this because this will prepare you to help you do the moves later on in the video. So once you master those, which are really not that even complicated, all you have to do is do this and then focus on doing it like this with a floor and a stair. Focus on doing it on the back side like this, land on top of the stair, and this will help you lead to the next step. I'm going to explain more tips and tricks really soon about where to jump, how to jump, and all that stuff once I tell you these steps. So like I said, once you start learning how to do this, the next step is the hardest step, which is learning how to do a momentum side jump, landing on top of the stair and the floor while jumping and continuing momentum forward. After that, this can get even more complicated by adding a wall as well and then doing the momentum side jump to have more protection. Another variation of that same move is coming here like this and placing the wall before you do the floor and the stair, so it helps with more protection. This happens a lot to me whenever I get floored off, so what I'll do is I'll just jump and then land on that, and then I can turn around, do a 180 and then more 90 or something like that and get height on the guy. It takes them off guard, which is really good whenever you're in a build battle. This is one that I left out, but if you come here and you jump and you land with this and focus on tunneling after you do a side jump, it will help you with learning the next step, which is going to be to land on top of it like that. So once you learn how to do this, then the next thing to do is to do this. Now that you guys know the exact build-up process to practice whenever you're in creative, I'm going to teach you guys some tips and tricks about actually doing it before and after you jump, so that way you can get better at it. Obviously, the goal of this video is to relieve as much stress as possible during this tough time of trying to learn side jumps. This is one of the worst times of my life when playing Fortnite because not knowing how to side jump just made it so much more difficult, especially for high ground retakes and everything else. First thing is this edit key symbol right here is where you want to start jumping whenever you're doing the side jump. Important thing to note is to never do a side jump like this straight on because it's a lot more difficult. I won't want to say never, but don't make it a habit to do it like that because it makes it so much more harder when you go on and attack it on a straight angle, because most likely you're probably going to hit your head on the cone. What you want to do is attack it on a diagonal, and that way you can jump and land on this kind of tile right here or very close to this one. That way it will help you with the positioning of where your character needs to be. Even though you guys see a lot of pros landing in the center, when you're starting out, I would recommend coming over here and learning how to do it and landing on this front tile like this because it helps with character movement and learning how your guy jumps and moves while you're in the air. So it's really important to jump at about the symbol of this edit key right here. Whether you're on controller or keyboard, you just come here and you jump like this. And if you notice, right before I do the jump, I kind of do like a squiggly action almost. I come here and I go up. So I go boom, boom. It's like an S, right? So I'm coming like a snake. I'm going boom, boom, and then I jump like that. So I'm coming here, I'm coming down, and I'm coming up, and I flick up real quick. So let me demonstrate that. Like that. First and foremost, if I were you, I would try and keep my floor out the entire time, because if you can do that, it tells you exactly when you need to place it and get that stair on top of it. So if you notice, I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to jump, and the floor was out the entire time, so I knew whenever I left click that it was going to place at that particular spot. That way I can get better at placing the stair on top of it. So I'm coming here, jumping at a diagonal, and at the same time while I'm jumping, I'm focusing on moving my character to the left while they're in the air. That's something that's really important when doing side jumps. Focus on moving your character as much as you can in the air. This is the same concept as when I'm falling. I can move to the left and get far over from where I was initially gonna land, rather than if I just came up here and then drop straight down. If you guys notice, if I come here and I go all the way up and then I drop, I land exactly on this line. But when I come here and I drop and I go over to the left, I can move almost a full tile over. Now, a full tile is not a huge amount, but when you're talking about side jumps, you only need to move one tile over, not a full floor like this. So it's really important that whenever you're in the air, that you're moving in the direction that you want to go. So when I do this snake action, I want to land right here on this tile. So what that means is as I'm coming here and I'm doing the snake action, I want to jump and move my character to the right because I'm going and jumping to the left. I hope that doesn't sound confusing. Literally, you just want to move your character very close to this tile whenever you're doing the jump. Just to recap, the tips we got down so far is coming here and having your floor out when you do the jump. Make sure you do the squiggly line and get up like this. Land very close to this tile right here as much as you can. And then on the opposite side, you want to land right here. Make sure you're attacking this jump at a diagonal and not straight on like this so you don't hit your head. And if you're doing this and you jump and you hit your head on this and you're underneath it, that means you either jumped too late or too early and you just screwed up your jump altogether. You need to focus on getting the right timing down. That way you can get on top of it. Even a further recap, when you're starting out, you want to come here and you want to focus on landing in this part. And then as you get better at it, you want to focus on landing in the middle. Just to get the movement down for you guys on controller and keyboard, you want to hold W key the entire time. But at the same time, you want to switch on and off between the right and left. And if you're on analog stick, you just move it to the left or move it to the right. I'm sure you guys all understand what I'm talking about. Just because I'm on keyboard doesn't mean that these directions are really any different. All you do is you come here, I'm going to the left before I jump, and then as I'm in the air, I'm holding the right side and then W at the same time so I can get this diagonal sort of run so I can jump at the perfect time and land it. I come here and the only time I'm holding the left side to move to the left is right before I jump, and then as I'm in the air, that's when I'm holding the right side. So it's left and then right. And I switch it like that. That really helps build momentum for your character, which could catapult you up to get above that stair. This sort of side jump I didn't mention, but it's here when you come like this and you constantly do this over and over and over like this. It's really shown here, that S movement that I was talking about. You come here, you flick up, and then you come down, and then you come up again, right? So I'm coming here, I'm going boom, I'm coming. Notice how I'm running down to give myself more time on this ramp, and then I'm coming up, and it gives me the perfect trajectory to jump at the center of this symbol. So I come here, and then I go like this, and then I'm back here again. I need to clarify this because I get so many questions and so many comments about ping. Listen, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. If you guys have really high ping, it's going to be difficult to do this move because you're going to constantly either A, jump and hit your head because you're going too early because you can't get the delay right due to your ping, or you're going to jump late and you're going to come out and you're going to miss it. So the higher your ping is, I would say at 100, it's going to be really hard to do side jumps like this. Now, that doesn't mean just because you have high ping that you can't do these. You just have to focus on doing a different variation of the side jump, so that way it allows you to do it in a slower time period. For example, when I do this, I have to do this movement really quick, but when I come here and I'm doing a different form, I can spend my time on it and go slow. Obviously, this one isn't the fastest, but keep in mind, you guys are limited because of your ping. So if you have high ping, try and focus on doing different variations of side jumps because that will help reduce the amount of time that you have between pressing the buttons really quick and all that stuff. Another fact about side jumps is that it's way easier on controller than it is keyboard and mouse. I play both controller and keyboard. I have mastered side jumps on both. This move is 100% possible on keyboard and mouse or controller, so it doesn't matter which input you have. In my opinion, I do think that it's easier on controller due to the analog stick movement that you guys have. I've been able to master every form of side jump there was on controller and keyboard, so I promise you that it's not next to impossible as long as your ping and your FPS is not too bad. You can definitely do side jumps as well on console. It's not impossible. Everything that I'm talking about in this video is 100% doable across any platform. As long as you don't have over 300 to 200 ping, you should be okay. And if you do, I'm sorry for you. Rest in peace for you guys. I was just watching a previous video about how to do 2 side jumps in a row like this. I'm going to demonstrate all the tips I know really quickly off the top of my head. First tip, whenever you're doing double momentum side jumps, you want to land to the side that's closest to where you're going to leap off of. That might be a little bit confusing, but what I'm saying is if you notice I landed over here somewhere and then the center of the stair is over here and I'm to the right of it because I'm about to leap and do a double side jump. Whenever you do a double side jump, you don't want to land in the middle really or anywhere on the left side if you're going to jump to the right. height. The middle is like kind of okay. It's not bad, but it's better if you're jumping closer to the end because it will just make it so it's easier to get that next angle off. That snake movement that I was talking about earlier is even more so explained when you're doing this. Notice how I don't look down that much when I do the side jump and I'm almost head level. The entire time I'm almost about this height right here. I'm never looking up drastically or down drastically because that will cause me to get stuck on a floor or a cone. The second I do that first side jump like I just did, I instantly look here and place the cone on my head without looking too high up. That's really important because if you look higher up, it's going to screw up your momentum for the next jump. I look down a little bit, but not too much. And I kind of just come here and I'm head level, and then I place the floor stair and then cone, and then I can instantly come up, come down, and then do the second one like this and just keep reconnecting them like that. And that's how you do the double or triple or 4 side jumps in a row. If you guys learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button for the one time and help your boy out. We're on the road to 25K. I would really appreciate the support, and I do appreciate all the love that I've been getting. If you guys have any future video ideas, feel free to comment them down below, as I'm always looking for new ideas and I love to listen to my comment section. Don't forget to use code KEMBEANS. Come through to my Twitch channel if you guys have any questions, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Deuces. Peace.
Sit down.